You feeling bloated, sluggish, or just off? Well, maybe it's because you're constipated, and let's get things moving. Let's get that garbage out. Last time, just to recap, we identified signs of constipation and triggers for constipation. We're going to talk about lifestyle, and that starts with good old food. Most of us need more vegetables. Before we hop into the vegetables, I want to talk about good old top ramen. I don't know how many of you are eating it. I don't eat top ramen. In my opinion, top ramen is kind of like bottom of the food chain. Not my ideal food. You get white wheat, no fiber, and you're eating a ton of it. And so you have all this ramen, and it kind of creates this block inside your intestinal tract. I can't tell you how many kids are getting constipated just off top ramen. Come home from school, have a bowl of top ramen, constipated. Or mac and cheese. The point is if we look at what we're putting in our body and we look at what God or nature provides us, God doesn't take a food in nature and strip something off of it that we don't need and then dehydrate it and process it in something and then put it on a tree. My point to that is yeah, I mean, there's a banana and you do peel the covering off. My experience with that is don't eat the peel, but something needed to keep the fruit clean. So God gave it a peel. God also put everything in the grain that you needed. So the outside of the grain has fiber on it, which helps the bowel move. The inside, starch, and causes constipation if eaten and consumed by itself. Okay, enough about top ramen. I get people in here all the time with a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old or a 6-year-old, and they're like, my kid's just constipated. I can't get it undone. And I'm like, well, you feed them any vegetables? And they're like, well, they won't touch a vegetable. Okay, are you feeding them whole wheat? Well, they only like white wheat. They only like Wonder Bread. You get the idea, right? I've had kids come in and their parents say they just live off top ramen. They won't eat anything else. They have top ramen for 3 meals a day. Well, you're going to have to start introducing some other food. And it's going to be hard and it's going to be rough. And I get it, new habits, and kids can be stubborn. But you can't expect to have good digestion and live on top ramen alone. Enough of that. Okay, broccoli. Broccoli is a great sweeper of the intestines. A lot of fiber, a lot of antioxidants. Spinach has a lot of fiber in there. So, spinach and broccoli, if you're suffering from kidney stones, gout, arthritis, those probably aren't the ones you want to run out and grab. They do have some oxalates in there and can make those worse when eaten in large amounts. But for the average person, very good for the digestive system. So let's move on to the next ones that don't have any of those issues. Cabbage. You can eat cabbage however you like. We love to eat some cabbage raw. It's very sweet, crunchy. You like that. You eat too much, it's going to make you farty. Just how it is. Cook the cabbage doesn't make you farty like that. Sweet potatoes, apples, berries, these all have a lot of fiber in there. Celery has good fiber, and you can eat that with like celery and peanut butter. We like to do what we call ants on the log. So you take a chunk of celery and put some peanut butter on there, and we prefer, I just tell you my brand, no endorsement here, just Adams peanut butter or an organic peanut butter, something that doesn't have unhealthy seed oils. Put that peanut butter on there, and then you let the kids put some raisins on there, and you got ants on a log. We need to be eating these, and we need to be eating at the beginning of our meal, which stimulates digestion and helps the food move through the intestinal tract. God gave us these things. We'd be ungrateful not to use them. Other vegetables we like to use are like cooked sweet potatoes, cooked carrots, another one, pickles, sauerkraut. Love sauerkraut with our sausage or with meat. For some reason, I don't like to eat sauerkraut by itself, but with a little bit of meat, it's fantastic. You can go get real sauerkraut from the grocery store in the refrigerator section. You can make your own. It's a fun recipe to look up. Just look up countertop sauerkraut. I mean, some chopped up cabbage, some salt, a jar. It's cake. It's so cake. It's cool. And then you got good old regular plain salads, right? You could have a salad before each meal, but salads get old and people aren't going to eat those for breakfast usually. We like cooked carrots that are warm and hot green beans for breakfast. We also like celery and peanut butter for breakfast or lunch or dinner or snacks. Those are all great. Let's help this digestive tract be a little more modal, get the body what it needs. The fiber in vegetable, as it's this super healthy thing, you eat it before your meal and it slows your sugar absorption down. So your blood sugars become more even and healthier, and you're teaching your body how to manage blood sugar by eating a vegetable first. But some people have a lot of fiber and then they get this upset in their stomach That upset can be something called SIBO, and that's small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. That is when we feed bad bacteria too much fiber and it outgrows the good bacteria and causes gut inflammation. So if you eat these things that are fibrous and you get those symptoms, then we may be looking at a SIBO situation. And that means you need to have probiotics without a prebiotic, because a prebiotic is a fiber and we need those prebiotics to knock that down. Now, SIBO is this much more vast conversation than we're going to have here. But I did want to mention it because if you're one of those people who are like, man, I eat a vegetable and I blow up like a balloon and I am sick, well, that's the direction we're looking. And so you would be more inclined to use a supplement such as magnesium to help you out with that. Adults should use around 25 grams of healthy fiber a day. So, if you want to flip labels around, look at servings and check how much fiber, that's kind of what you're looking for. All right, the unsung hero of all health conditions, water. If we're not getting water, we're probably going to have a health condition that needs addressed. So, how much water should we be getting? Adults should be getting 6 to 8 glasses in a day. More if we're outside in the heat, or if we're physically active or breathing heavy. Those things will all use a ton of water. Now, the magical thing about water is it doesn't play by itself. We can drink water and then we can pee it right out, and you're like, I just drink, and I don't feel like I am using my water. I still feel thirsty, I still feel dehydrated, I don't feel any better, and I'm still getting headaches. That's because there's a thing called minerals, trace minerals, or mineral salts that act like a transporter for the fluid. If you're lacking minerals, the water is just going through you. When we overdrink water, let's say we're just consuming a gallon plus a day, we are going to wash so much of those minerals out our urinary tract that we become deficient in our body. So we have to replace those. And so we're looking at what's called real salt, like Redmond's real salt, like pink Himalayan salt. These salts replace all of the other minerals, not just sodium chloride, which is table salt, but magnesium chloride, potassium chloride, calcium chloride, and your body needs all of those to feel hydrated and to function well and to move water into the cells, especially in your brain cells. It also uses those salts to help detox. So, kind of a full circle thing, right? If you're having toxicity causing headaches and you have dehydration causing headaches, and you get the water and the minerals in there, it helps you detox those things out. It's funny, I'll be talking with colleagues or friends who work in office work, and they'll be like, yeah, things just not been going well in the bathroom department. Most of the time, they're saying if they get up and go for a walk 10 minutes a day, things work out a ton better. Literally work out. Walking 10, 15 minutes. Did you know stretching can make a big difference? A lot of times when we're sitting on our desk like this, we're crunched over, sitting at our desk, again, still hunched over. In this situation, what's happening? Your gut's being all compressed and nothing likes to move through there. So standing up, stretching your torso, stretching it side to side, getting things moving, that helps open up the abdomen. You want to sit up tall and strong, pretend there's a string pulled at the top of your head and your shoulders are back. And then you want to make sure your hips are not rotated forward, that they're back like this, and your belly button is pushing towards your spine. Nice, proper chair posture. Makes a big difference. And then still go for a walk. Gentle core workouts are great. Some of the ones that are great in office is just standing up and doing your leg lifts. All right, just get those legs moving. Go ahead and stretch out that good old quad out there. Get those quads out. The reason you stretch your quads is that lines your hips back up. Don't forget about that. And when your hips move, they click back up. Your sigmoid colon lets more material through. So stretch them quads. I'll say it again. Stretch them quads. Another exercise that is real good is when you take your arm up and then bring it down, touch the opposite toe, other arm, opposite toe. Do that standing, do that sitting if you're not in a position where you can stand, and moving your torso from side to side, not swinging hard. You're not trying to pop your back, just getting some good old movement. in the core. That can make some big differences in the way you feel and in your posture. We have a newsletter. If it's not out, it's going to be out about stretches that I recommend for what's called sitter's disease. Sitter's disease is when we sit too much and we develop a disease of stiffness. I have a lot of these in there, so you can check that out. One of the biggest things is when we're not going to the bathroom well, we feel broke. Whether we're verbalizing that or not, we just feel broke. And we sit down to our work or wherever we're sitting down to eat. We don't enjoy those things. You're not broken. You just need a little help. In the next video, that's what we're going to talk about, a little more help. And we're going to talk about supplements that make a big difference. Would I see my clientele? Usually they've been suffering from a lifetime of constipation, and we're going to help you out. So check out our supplementation helps in the next video. Probiotics live in the gut wall, and they stimulate the bowel in different ways to move material through and to clean up how